Yo, what's going on, guys? Haven't thought of a name yet here. Long time no see, and I literally can't see, so I'm gonna take these off. 2024. A very interesting year in my life, and a very good year for music, in my personal opinion. One of the strongest years we've had, and that's with missing a lot. Um, my apologies that this video took so long to come out. The original ambition was to get all of these out in December. Don't know if that's going to be the case now. But I was trying to catch up on releases and stuff. And I think I'm happy with where I am in terms of these lists. Like, I really like these lists. Yeah. But anything I miss or leave off, feel free to comment under these videos or send me a recommendation at Haven't Thought of a Name Yet on Album of the Year. But without further ado, let's get into the list, because we've got a long list today. Last year, you may remember, if you were a fan of the channel last year, we only did rap. So there was only 10 songs. This year, we've got 40. 2 40-song lists and 2 20-album lists. But let's go. Okay, number 40, we've got I Hate People by J-Daz. This sort of modern pop punk revival wave has reached a whole new level of bad with this song. I think it's one of those songs that really speaks for itself, so I believe you should listen to it. Number 39, we have got Hello There by Lyrical Lemonade, well, from the Lyrical Lemonade album by Lil Tracy, Corbin, and Black Cray. That album doesn't feel like it came out this year because so much has released since then, but I think this song really flew under the radar. It's terrible. It interpolates that one Blink-182 song, you know, the one that's like, where are you? But you've got Black Cray, Lil Tracy, and Corbin doing it instead, and they're talking about like money and shooting people. I think I can't remember. It's been so long. Okay, number 38, we have got Whiskey Whiskey by Moneybagg Yo and Morgan Wallen. Moneybagg Yo's album this year was really disappointing for me. It was my first ever Moneybagg Yo album, and maybe my last. Why rappers are still collaborating with this known racist who doesn't even make good music, I'm not sure. But as long as it's happening, it will probably book a spot on these lists. Number 37, Girl in Red shows us her ugly side on Ugly Side. Just really, really awkward music and not fun to listen to. Gives me a really bitter vibe lyrically. I don't know. Number 36, it's Great Beat by Cash Cobain featuring J. Cole. A lot of people forget Cash Cobain's even involved in this track. The main controversy is obviously J. Cole's contribution to this thing. You know, just absolutely insane verse from J. Cole. Dead beat, horrible mixing. Cash Cobain's verse isn't much better. Like, number 35 is Thick of It by KSI and Trippie Redd. A lot of you may be questioning why this song isn't higher on the list, and that's just because I find it kind of boring. I don't really think it's a song where there's too much to say about it, and saying much about it is what KSI wants. So we'll leave it at that. Number 34, we have got Bull in a Bullet by Fever 333. Just some really questionable metal music. Fever 333 are actually a band who I have a lot of respect for because I agree with a lot of their politics, and I think a lot of what they say is really needed for the metal community, but when it sounds like this, I'd rather just hear a speech about it, to be honest. Number 33, we have got Simi by 6ix9ine. I did not know this dude was still releasing music. He dropped that terrible Latin pop album a few years back, but like I don't know. But yeah, I can see why he's blackballed with songs like this. Number 32 is a bit of a painful inclusion by an artist who I have a lot of respect for again, and that is Mamushi by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Yuki Chiba. So a lot of these songs are here for reasons outside of the music, like me not liking the artists as people and stuff. This is like, for everyone telling me separate the art from the artist, this is a song where I separate the art from the artist. This is purely here because it's annoying. Stop. I don't know. Okay, let me scroll. I've got this on the Samsung Note. My phone's like half and half screened. Number 31, we have got Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. Just some really atrocious, corny, millennial balladry. I don't even know if he is a millennial. I know he's like, his career is the brainchild of Dan Reynolds pretty much, but yeah, not for me. At number 30, we have got Meghan Trainor's To the Moon. This song is pretty much your average Meghan Trainor song, and then you get to the chorus, and it's Jersey Club for some reason. Just a song that purely exists in nightmares. Yeah. Number 29, we have got Tango by Tommy Cash and Baby No Money. I think Baby No Money and Tommy Cash, respectively, had very interesting years in terms of music, both dropping some really good stuff, both dropping some really bad stuff. This song more fits into the latter category, just really annoying. Number 28, we have got Vendetta by TX2 and Johnny Three Tears. I'm not too familiar with TX2. My cousin listens to him, I think. I know his song where he's like, I'm a 5'4" man whore. But this song was quite the shock to me when I heard it. We're no longer writing bad pop punk. We're just sempiternal era Bring Me the Horizon, I guess. Really derivative. It literally like has the exact same first verse. Like the flow is exactly the same as The House of Wolves. And that's one of my favorite Bring Me songs. So, you know what I mean? Like, I can't exactly tune that out when I listen to it. Number 27, Take Me to the Beach by Imagine Dragons. I reacted to this Imagine Dragons album, and it's honestly probably my favorite video I did this year. It was such a fun video to record. This song that still just absolutely sends me. Is so bad. The Ado remix of it though is actually really solid. I was like, oh my God, Imagine Dragons and Ado, but no, Ado kills it. So listen to that. Number 26. I could have gone with a variety of songs from this artist's newest record, and also singles they released afterwards, but purely due to a lack of anything when talking about such a serious topic. We've got Anxiety by G-Eazy. G-Eazy is another artist. I didn't know G-Eazy still released music. But then I heard his song Nada, which is really bad. And I was like, oh, that's going on there. And I saw he released an album. And I didn't listen to it, but I listened to this song. And yeah, I'm glad I did. It fits in perfectly on here. Number 25, we've got Olympic Gold Medal Like I'm Michael Phelps by Christ Dillinger, Shadow Wizard, Money Gang, Acid Soldier, Pistolaro 2K, and Chris Too Easy. Just a 6-minute long, unfunny comedy rap song. We'll get onto that later, actually. Number 24, we have Get Aware by Blueface. I feel bad for including so much rap music on this list because I love rap music, but this year's not been the best year for rap, I don't think. And with songs like this, it's pretty easy to see why. Just insane music. Like, I struggle to even call this a song. Blueface's downfall needs to be studied. Number 23, we've got Dumb by Jaden. Just some of the most annoying music I've heard all year. Simply. Dumb, 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 dumb. Really dumb song. Oh! I owned the libs with that one. Try talking about the political and economic state of the world after that one, Jaden Smith. Yeah. Number 22. We've had a pretty political year, I think. In terms of politics. Usually politics is pretty political. But with maybe one of the most important general elections in the US of my lifetime, it's been a pretty political year. And of course that has led to political songs being released. And that's what this one is. We've got American Hero by Lil Pump. Do you guys remember when Lil Pump made fun music? Do you remember when Lil Pump made a really fun bad album last year? No, he's just a Trump shill who makes country music now. He really went the route of the person in our number 20 spot, but we'll get on to them after number 21. This year has been a year where a lot of influencers and people who aren't conventionally musicians have released music, and that's what this spot is. One of these key influencers who have had a year in music is Jojo Siwa. And one of those songs is Iced Coffee. I did not include Karma, and I didn't include Guilty Pleasure, or whatever it's called. But no, I included Iced Coffee because it has AI cover art, and it's annoying. Into the top 20, we have Get By Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll has been everywhere in 2024, literally. My man has collabed with Eminem, MGK, Joyner Lucas, Falling in Reverse, all my favorite artists. And he's also released some solo music, and this is one of those solo songs. His brand of very sort of boring, conservative adjacent country was absolute hell to get through for over an hour. And most of the album sounded like this, so we could trade this out for virtually any other Jelly Roll song. Now, for an artist who my opinions are a lot more conflicted on, or an act, shall I say, metal has had a really interesting year in terms of comebacks, and one of the biggest comebacks is undoubtedly the comeback of Linkin Park, whose song Casualty ranks 19th on this list. Regardless of what you think of Emily Armstrong as a person, her screaming's terrible. Like, really fucking bad. I don't want to hear that shit. The one song where they weren't just making generic alt pop on the new album, they're trying to appeal to a metalcore audience, I guess. And there is so much better metalcore that's came out this year. You'll see a lot of that on my best lists. So wait until then and don't waste your time with this. Or do. This album's got like a 63 on album of the year, despite being boring. Number 18 is anything but boring. We have Over You featuring aespa and Chris Martin by Jacob Collier. just insanity music. The entire premise of this song sounds like something that would like come to me in a dream. But a dream where I'm like drowning and Jacob Collier is standing at the edge of the pool saying he can't save me because I'm not a qualified musician or something. Um, just insanity. Like Chris Martin, aespa, and Jacob Collier over a reggaeton beat. No thank you. Speaking of no thank you, this is another artist who I could have included many songs by, and there are probably worse. But I think this song was the most disappointing. And that is Lil Mabu with Lil Baby, Underdog Song. It's not the most insufferable song on the new Lil Mabu album, but it did make me really sad for the state of Lil Baby's career. And if your song's that bad it makes me sad, then it's probably not a good sign. Number 16 is from an artist who I wasn't really familiar with going into this list. Going into this year, sorry. That is Riot 10 with Tear It Down. Just some really outdated YouTuber intro-esque dubstep music. Terrible. Speaking of terrible, we have number 15, Brand New Dance by Eminem. Just repulsive music, simply put. The Eminem record is an album that I will say has kind of grown on me to an extent. I don't think it's good still, but it's probably gone up like by 1 out of 10 since I first listened to it. Because I think sonically, in terms of flows and in terms of production, it is a big step up for Eminem from something like Revival or Kamikaze or Music to Be Murdered By. This song is an exception to that rule, however. Just one of the worst beats I've heard all year. And an Eminem sang chorus. And regardless of what he did in the verses, he couldn't have helped. He couldn't have saved that. Speaking of repulsive, this one was from another artist that I didn't know still released music, and an artist who I've known since before my music review days, and that is Everyone You Know with Think About His Mother. If there's a song on this list you haven't heard, I'd imagine it would probably be this one, because this band I only knew about from FIFA, and my viewers don't really seem like FIFA players. I used to like their song She Don't Dance, I think, and I liked their song Charlie. They kind of had this really interesting blend of dance with a little bit of like a indie twist and a little bit of like a pop thing going on. It was really cool. This song, however, sounds like that new Slow Tie record, but bad. I don't know. I didn't really like that Slow Tie album. But I haven't listened to it since it came out, so I don't really have confidence to say that's bad. Number 13, we've got more horrible dubstep with Mellowfire by Marshmello and Samplifier. Marshmello is an artist who really perplexes me. What's the appeal? I swear it's like a company. What's next? I'm gonna listen to A-Rop. Hey bro, play that new A-Rop song. Hey bro, have you heard that new I can't think of a company. That's because I'm so brain rotted by number 12. No, All My Friends Are Porn Stars by Johnny K9. I am partial to a bit of furry music every now and then. There are some excellent furry musicians and artists out there. This song, however, I'm not really partial to. Just nightmare music. Speaking of nightmare music, a song I abstained from putting in the top 10. I reserved the top 10 for music. I think, but I can't even with confidence call this song that. Um, I'm not sure if this song fits the criteria of my list. What is the definition of music? Um, well, I don't know, but it's not number 11. They them don't want no smoke. LMAO by Acid Girl. I can tell you that much. The YouTube description for this song says it all. I can't be bothered to go and find it, and I don't want to give this person an extra view to go and find it. But it was pretty much talking about how trans people are disrespectful or something. Just really sickening, repulsive vibes coming from this camp, and it also doesn't help that they're not just spouting transphobia; they're spouting transphobia with some of the worst production and most annoying, abrasive vocals I've heard all year. Yeah, terrible. Number 10. Into the top 10. Finally, after 20 minutes, you're here for what you clicked for. We have Lobster Popstar by Little Big. I was not familiar with Little Big before this year. But they kind of give me the impression of like the lanky box of music to an extent. Just insane. I have a lot of respect for them because they don't seem like they seem like cool people, and they seem like they really enjoy what they are doing. I just unfortunately I'm not in on the joke. We'll say that. Number 9. Speaking of, I'm not in on the joke. We have Fried from the Vultures 2 album. I thought Carnival was bad, and then I heard this shit, and it was just worse Carnival. Just so annoying. It's so bad, and it's really it is like I was thinking about not including this because I'm so sick of talking about this. But it is really sad to see Kanye West's downfall. I do say I hope he'll come back better than ever, but in actuality, saying nothing past "Yay" is canon is a lot easier. After that, we have "When Will the Time of These Bastards End" by The Voids. The Voids' new album was void of really anything besides laughably terrible autotune, boring production, and AI cover art. If you don't know who the Voids are, Julian Casablancas of The Strokes fame. The Strokes fame, one of the most notorious bands for pushing the needle, and he's out here dropping this shit. It's embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, there's nothing more embarrassing than hearing one line in a song that sums you up perfectly, going on a Twitter meltdown, and then dropping Bigfoot by Nicki Minaj in at number 7. Just really bad. Really bad beat. Really lame disses. A horrible last section. Honestly, I could probably listen to all but one of the other songs on this list before listening to that spoken word outro again. It is horrible. I hate ASMR, and that outro is ASMR about how Nicki Minaj is going to expose Megan Thee Stallion, and then never expose Megan Thee Stallion. Nicki Minaj has been on a really upsetting downfall recently. I hope she can come back, because there were promising songs on her newest record. I liked Red Ruby Da Sleaze, for example. But yeah, as long as songs like this keep dropping, I'm not really interested in what Nicki Minaj is doing anymore. And that leads us on to number 6. Speaking of an artist who I am not interested at all in what they are doing anymore, we have got Lonely Road by MGK and Jelly Roll. I'm really sick of interpolations. I hate them. I hate them. And I should have said that last because it transitions onto our next one. Uh, just, I mean, MGK and Jelly Roll making a country song would probably make this anyway, let alone interpolating a good song and ruining it. Just disgusting. And our next song at number 5, into the top 5, isn't that exciting? Our next song at number 5 is also equally disgusting, and that is I Don't Want to Wait by David Guetta and One Republic. I hear this song. Every other song on this list I can kind of avoid. I hear this song. I know people who listen to this shit. It's so plastic. I don't get the appeal. You know? The whole draw to dance music, arguably, is that it makes you move. It's the atmosphere. It's the hypnotics of it. The only thing hypnotic about this song is when I hear it, I want to fall asleep. It's just terrible. And that's not to mention the Dragos de Adinte interpolation in here that's just so ham-fisted and awkward in Ryan Tedder's voice. Just two of the most uninspired artists coming together to make one of the most uninspired songs of the year. Terrible. Speaking of uninspired artists, number 4, we have got Facts by Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro. I'm not interested in talking about this song. I don't think it deserves my attention. Speaking of not deserving my attention, once upon a time everything was alright. We've got Ronald featuring Tech9 and Alex Terrible. Bad Guy, prequel, and Trigger Warning by Falling in Reverse. I really struggled to narrow it down to 1, so fuck it. Let's have 4. And you know what? Let's throw No Fear in there. And you know what? Jelly Roll could appear on this list 3 times. Fuck it. I hate this record. I really do. It's so fucking terrible. I don't really. I'm not really interested in speaking about these either, but we might as well give a quick rundown. Have you ever wanted to hear Amen by Bring Me the Horizon, but you replace the trans person with a transphobe, and you replace Daryl Palumbo with a neo-Nazi? Well, there you go. You've got Ronald. Both of the caps of the 36 chambers. Like, shut the fuck up. You want to hear Ronnie Radke be MGK for a song? Listen to Bad Guy. Oh yeah, that's not to mention his partner making an appearance on the song to say, he's the bad guy, he's a savage. Like, shut the fuck up. You ever wanted to hear an NF song, but with horrible falsetto vocals at the end? Well, that's what Prequel is. He may have escaped the fate of making good music with this one. Trigger warning. Okay, before we get into this song, let's clear all the snowflakes out. You want to hear Fake It by Seether, but with a awkward ham-fisted piano solo, and it's all about how sensitive and woke the world is now, by someone who was banning members in his Kick chat for asking why tour dates were cancelled. Yeah. You want to hear rapping about how the person rapping isn't rapping really, but they're rapping to prove a point? Well, there you go. You've got No Fear. And you want to hear an embarrassing mix of country, radio rock, and metal, where the main artist is a horrible person, but he spends the whole thing trying to get you to sympathize with him. Shut the fuck up, you're a millionaire, no one cares about how you feel. Yeah. Speaking of no one cares about how you feel, ever hate when a feminist makes a feminist anthem about feminism, but it's produced by one of the biggest woman abusers in the entire music industry? I hate that too. And that is why I hate Woman's World by Katy Perry. Just the pure concept of a feminist woman empowerment anthem produced by Dr. Luke is embarrassing. And this song, this entire comeback of Katy Perry's is embarrassing. It's a woman's world and you're all just living in it. If this is the kind of music that plays in that world, I don't want to live in it. Speaking of where I don't want to live, the title of this song is A Place I Don't Want to Live. Number 1. We have Jail Part 1 by Lil Dicky. I know it's a cop-out. I know. The 9-minute comedy song that makes fun of male victims of SA being number 1 is a cop-out. I wish I could have had I wish I could have found something that was actually deserving of being on this list. And listening to this song again for this video was easily the hardest to get through. You've just got Lil Dicky, who's already unfunny, talking about really uncomfortable topics, and turning it all into this horrible joke. You know, this track tells the story, I'm sure you've heard it now. This track tells the story of how Lil Dicky exposed himself at a show, but it's okay because the crowd were egging him on, and then he went to jail, and I hate this shit. I hate it so much. I have said it, and I will say it a million times. There is nothing worse than unfunny comedy rap, and that is exactly what this song is. But yeah, that will be my list of the worst songs of 2024. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you have, please do consider leaving a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribing to the channel for more music discussion. There will be more list videos. I'm going to try my best to bang out 2 per week. Just to get all these videos out by the end of the year so we can move on for 2025. Comment down below what, in your opinion, the worst song of 2024 is. I love music discussion, that's why I do this. And I haven't thought of a name yet. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.